Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Johanna, and for those of you who are new here, welcome. And for those of you who are returning, welcome back. In today's video, I'll be going over my 2021 planner slash journal lineup, and if that is of interest to you, please stay tuned. Okay, so there's a lot going on the desk right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the 2 or 3 that you are probably aware of, and then I'll show you some of the ones that you probably haven't seen. But I'll take them out one by one just so it makes it look a little bit more organized on the desk. But there are currently 6 here, and it is still going to remain 6 even though this one is on the desk. This is for 2021. I will be using the same cover, but this one I still need to finish as it is still December. Okay, so this is my Skinny Classic Happy Nietzsche. Again, this one is finishing out December. I will use this cover, but this is what I'll be using for 2021. I've already done the setup video on how I'm doing this front section. It is currently Sunday, the 27th of December, so this won't be something I'll start working on until next week. But again, I've already shown you guys how I've done part of this. And so this is something that I've been using since May 2019 and will continue to use in the new year. This is my A5 Stology in my leather Moterm cover, and this is what I use for work. And if I had anything that I would consider an actual planner, it would be this. Now, the majority of this I actually do just documentation of what I've completed. I'm not doing a lot of planning within the week, although I do have elements of planning where I am doing some future planning because I know that there are upcoming projects, upcoming due dates, and so I put them here. And then on a month-to-month basis, I do set some goals, write down some important deadlines, track when I'm working from home or in the office, and then I basically track tasks that I've completed and then add some other additional aspects to this that make me reflect upon more about my work and how I'm feeling, hence the thoughts in, the thoughts out. And then eventually I do start putting quotes on my weekly spreads, which are generally a week on one page, because the most important aspect of this is the task completed, and then the rest of this I just do because it does help me feel both productive, plus it also centers me just a little bit. Now in December, I did go a lot more decorative than I was in the first 2 months, and for the rest of this planner slash journal here, which goes, I'm hoping, through June of 2021, it probably will be a combination of some of it will be highly decorative, some of it will be a little bit more plain, and it just really will depend on a week-to-week basis what I'm feeling. But I do like the week on one page, and then if I do like a 2-page spread like this, again, the second page probably will be more decorative than anything. Now the rest of these are journals, and so I have shown this one. Oh, okay. And this is my handwriting journal, and here I just come in when I'm feeling particularly stressed or I need to calm my mind. I'll look for a quote or a poem online, and then I will just concentrate on how the pen moves and how it sounds, the letters formation, and making sure I actually get the quote or poem correct. And then as I progress in here, I also started adding some doodling because it makes me happy, and why not? But this is something, and with the others that I'm going to be showing you after this one, is just when I feel the need for it. It isn't anything that I do consistently. It isn't anything that I make sure that I get in at any certain time. When I'm feeling it, I come in here. And when I'm not, it just sits on the side and just waits until I am. But I really enjoy the aspect of pen to paper. And I also like the way that I can focus on the words someone else has written versus focusing on, whatever my own thoughts are. I will have a different video going up relatively soon on why I journal and the different ways that I've used to combat some of the anxiety and the anxiousness. But again, that will be in a different video. This is my anything journal, and this one I started really because I think there is a conception or a preconceived notion in the planner and journal community that you have to have a whole bunch of expensive products in order to make a really cute planner or journal, or just to be effective or productive, because you could run the gamut of all of that. This is a composition notebook, and I am doing a series on this that I put up periodically when the mood strikes me, on various ways you can use things that you have, things that are very budget friendly, that you can make something that is both creative, functional, and decorative without having to spend a lot of money. And so I've already done a few spreads in here. This I had done because I wanted to see what it would look like if I just used a pen, nothing else. And then I did a setup for 2021 using just Crayola markers, a black pen, and this here to see what I could create with very limited items, but also see if it could be very decorative. And I think it really is. I will continue this series. I will set up months, have different themes, have different things to do, but I like the idea of coming in here and playing, showing you what's possible, and having you know that, just because you see people use $30 notebooks or $60 planners, or they have all of the pens and the stickers and the washi and the tombos and all of the things, you don't need all of the things. That I have a ton of things, that's just because I love stationery. But don't be intimidated by all the products you see. Just be inspired by the creativity of what you see, and then just make whatever it is that you have access your own. Now this is something that I have not shown on here. Again, I will be talking a little bit more about why I started this in a separate video, but this is my botanical journal. Now this is an Exceed softcover notebook from Walmart. My brother did pick this up for me. I've yet to do anything here, but it's just something I come into when I'm feeling it. And this is a botanical journal. And so in here, I will be doing some botanical doodles. I love writing down the definition, the genus. I love writing down anything that's related to florals so that I can practice my lettering. And I just come in here when the mood strikes me and I put things down. And again, it's when the mood strikes me. So my plan is to fill this up whenever it is filled up. I'm not putting any sort of due date on here. I can always come back and color it in, but I just love the idea of creating something that I think is pretty. It relaxes my mind. I can practice some lettering, use some of my products, and it's something that, just like my other handwriting journal, it just waits for me to feel in the mood to do it. And I really enjoy the creativity that this has. It doesn't necessarily clear my mind as much as the next thing that I'm going to be showing you, but it does help me feel very creative, but in a very non-intimidating way. It's going to be what it's going to be. I will try my best, and I won't look for the flaws. I'll just enjoy the process. The final one that I'm going to show you that's in my 2021 lineup is this here. It's another Exceed notebook. They are less than $10 from my local Walmart. I believe this is a B5 size. It's quite large. It's larger than my Stology. So if that gives you a size comparison, this is an A5, so yeah, I think this is a B5 size where it's just much bigger. I think it's like 7 by 10 or something like that. And for the price, and that it is a soft cover, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not hugely in love with the cover, but then I also don't hate it. So, I'm not gonna do anything to cover this up, nor am I gonna purchase anything to cover it up, as it never leaves my room. But this is my travel journal, and I really enjoy coming and playing in this because I get to travel to places via the internet where I watch travel vlogs. I get inspired to do some doodling, some lettering, some collaging. I get to learn about new cultures, check out new recipes from those cultures. Again, something that I'm finding online. This is a very time-consuming project. I mean, these spreads here, and there's only the 2 cities right now, have probably taken me hours and hours over several weekends. But I'm not in a race. It isn't places that I actually will be visiting. I've never been someone who wanted to travel, but I just love the idea of learning about new cultures through their food, through some of their iconic places, through their music, and just looking at this as well as the process of it, just it makes me happy. And so this is one of the things when I'm feeling it the next time, because I've completed the 2. And the way that I envision this is I'll do a spread on 2 pages about the city. I will look up some recipes that are famous to that city, and then when I turn the page, I'll visit someplace else. And I really love the idea of that. Now, for you, if you were looking at doing a travel journal, right now that's probably very limited due to the pandemic, but you could do something very similar where you do a 1 or 2 page spread, maybe you look up some recipes, and then you leave yourself some blank space before doing the next spread of when you actually go there. Again, I've never been into travel, so I'm not leaving, but I do like being able to travel via the internet or even my imagination to various places and putting things that just make me happy to do, but also happy to look at. Most of these things, if you've noticed, are very much for creativity's purpose. They're not for productivity. They're not to be efficient with my time. They're really to help calm my mind. They're really about taking myself out of my head, as I am an introverted indoor cat, and just putting me in a better frame of mind just by, understanding that I'm not alone in this big wheel that we call Earth. I know that just got really weird really quickly. I'd love to know what you guys think of my lineup. I know a lot of these videos, they're very about productivity and time management and using your time efficiently and getting as much done as you can. And mine are very much like, yeah, I come in here when I want to clear my mind of my anxiousness because it just helps me. And I like to play with my stuff. I know there's a very much different vibe and there's a very DIY aspect of this, but sometimes I just love flipping through the various projects that I have and just looking at them. And I love that. I am thinking about actually adding something to the lineup, but that's something I'm still thinking about. Now, I do plan in 2021 to do a check-in just to see where I am in the status of any of the things that I've shown you in today's video. Again, if you have any questions or comments, definitely leave them in the comment section below. And as always, aloha.